Here she is, the last Boeing 747.
She is the biggest, baddest commercial aircraft that's flying out there.
She's a great airplane, and I'm looking forward to many years to come.
My grandfather, Juan Trippe, was the founder of Pan Am.
My first love was a 747.
Out of the 282 747 I've flown, there's one very special one. Time is 7:47 a.m. "747 forever." I'm at the place where 747 was born over 50 years ago. And this is the final 747, the number 1,574 built. Freezing cold outside. Just walk into this world's biggest building, giant building, where 747 was built. Oh my God, would you look at this crowd here? This is amazing. Oh, all 747 fans. You got a really cool scarf. Look at this. The Queen of the Sky 747 scarf. And you have the beanie. Look at this. Love it.
Each flag represents a customer that took delivery from the first in 1969 to today. The flag design shows the livery that was on the first 747 delivered to each customer.
It's a particular honor for me to represent those people who brought this airplane to life, the Incredibles. There's a bunch of them sitting right over here.
How many in the audience have actually flown on a 747? Please raise your hand. Yeah! Yes! Like a 747. And even when you understand the science behind flight, there's nothing like seeing a 747 take flight to remind you that there's also magic here. She's a great airplane, and I'm looking forward to many years to come flying with her. I love you. Thank you.
The customer experience is simply great on every version, in every aspect when you fly a 747. And as I said, passengers love it, crews love it, and by the way, spotters love it too, because especially the 747-8 is just so damn good looking. That's for you. So that's why we at Lufthansa are currently looking into another upgrade of the 747-8 in all classes to fly this amazing airplane way into the next decade, including the amazing first class in the nose. And it's something we are proud of, that we will be representing this airplane for many, many more years.
There is one guest that's going to bring the house down. It's a guest we haven't brought out yet, and that is the guest of honor, the Queen of the Skies. So with that, everybody bundle up. It's going to get a little cold, but let's see the entrance of the Queen of the Skies.
Today we celebrate not necessarily an ending, but a beginning as well. The beginning of another exciting chapter driven by the mighty Queen of the Skies, and I will say she is the biggest, baddest commercial aircraft that's flying out there. So thank you to Boeing, our customers, and all of our employees. And we have a special flight plan that we've planned, so hopefully we can come across on the screen. That's going to be our flight plan for tomorrow, the Queen of the Skies. So thank you all.
My grandfather, Juan Trippe, was the founder of Pan Am, and he made the original agreement with Boeing to create the 747, and it lives on. Okay.
Your grandfather must be super proud of the 747.
Oh yeah, it was an extraordinary aircraft. You know, it was he and Boeing, you know, originated it, and it's been the most successful aircraft ever.
So earlier, I met up with Thomas Lee, who was a passenger on the inaugural 747 commercial flight.
You have flown the first ever 747 inaugural flight with Pan Am.
That is correct.
Which year, which day? Do you still remember?
Yeah, it was January of 1970. It was New York to London. And there's a very famous story, which is that we went out for takeoff, and we had a flame out in engine number 3. They had to turn, the engine blew up. We had to turn the plane around. Boeing had only delivered the second aircraft the day before. They had to prep that plane. They took all the passengers to New Jersey to a restaurant, wasted 6 hours while they prepped the plane, brought us back. Now 30 people refused to get on the airplane. It was absolutely amazing. And one other quick story. So because they couldn't move all the services over, they had to set up buffets in all the galleys. Probably the only flight in history where everyone lined up in one aisle, went through a galley, picked up their food, went down the other aisle to go back to their seats because they couldn't get the carts on to deliver the food.
But that's the greatest thing, a buffet on the airplane.
Exactly,
I love that.
Exactly. And one last piece of history, that aircraft, which was Clipper Victor, the first 747 flight,
Clipper Victor,
was also the exact aircraft that was in the Tenerife accident. 7 years later, the worst accident in aviation history. Amazing aircraft history now.
Good morning, back at Everett. The 747 is pushing back. The time is 7:47 a.m. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful takeoff into the clouds. Steep climb. There she goes, the last 747 did a beautiful fly past and left the factory where she was born. I think many of us grew up in the 747 era. That legacy of 747 of course will continue on. There'll be a lot of 747 still flies in the sky in the decades to come. 747 forever. At the ceremony, I found my friend Chris here. You are a big 747 geek.
Not as big a geek as you are, but close.
Well, but I think you got some challenge for us.
We do. We're going to play Sam's Super 747 Jumbo Jet Trivia.
All right,
You ready
let's
to
see
play?
who can guess all the answer.
Who can guess?
The answer's at the end of the video. Watch it till the end. Are you ready?
I'm ready. All right, question number 1. Which airline has flown the most 747s in its history? Question number 2. Which airline is the current largest operator of the most number of 747s? Number 3, which variant sold the most numbers of 747s? And number 4, which airline has flown the 747 the longest continuous period of time? And here's a hint, they're still flying it today. What prizes do we win for participating in your game show?
I think we're gonna give away the Air 747 book. We're gonna give away 10 of them to all of the people who watch the video. There's a link to sign up on the giveaway. No matter the guessed it right or wrong, there's a giveaway chance to win the 747 book. They say you never forget your first love. My first love was a 747. It was on board United Airlines in 1993 July. I still remember to this day. That's the love of 747. And then I flew 282 times afterward. Out of the 282 747 I've flown, there's one very special one. It is a 747 SP. Here we go.
Best VIP airplanes that I've seen in my career.
This airplane was built in 1979. I guess that's the king's bathroom. Here, there's another small private office here. There's a shower room, pretty big conference room here. Bodyguards probably like sitting here. The king's bedroom, basically. Oh.
Man Equipment Center.
Now the airplane will go in the hangar to do a C check.
Traffic. 50.
I never thought in 2019 I could fly again on the 747 SP. So beside the passenger flight, I also flew on the Combi flights. And this Combi flight takes very special guests on board. Let's check out. Oh!
The horses.
Yeah.
Whoa. Big horses, all going to Mexico.
One small one in the middle.
A small one, yeah.
The other proud moment I have was inside the Dream Lifter. The 747 was modified to carry the 787 Dreamliner. This is so tall, it's like 2 deck of a 747, which of course they modified, and wow, you know, this is not every day you get to see something like this. This is something, a technology, architectural marvels.
So we're back here at the aft of the aircraft. This is where the tail actually swings open. See the crack in the tail right here? This is our hinge point of where the tail will actually swing out over the left wing.
And then who would have thought in 2020 was the worst year for aviation. COVID pandemic hit and killed the 747. I've been to so many 747 funerals. Guys, welcome to Mojave. Today we're gonna give the Qantas 747 a grand farewell.
7474. I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of all here at Sydney Air Traffic Control, and indeed all air traffic controllers around the country, to say that it's been our pleasure to guide you through the skies safely. In fact, the Queen of the Skies through our airspace over the last decades. And on this bittersweet day, as we all suffer through this COVID crisis, on behalf of Australian people all over the country, many of whom have flown with you.
Here's the British Airways last landing in Wales. What a landing.
That's the aircraft shut down.
It's an end of an era, end of the chapter. 16 years of my career flying British Airways 747-400s, and now we say goodnight. So thank you, Queen of the Skies. It's been a blast.
And during the pandemic, there's lots and lots of cargo 747 being very active, supporting the logistics, keeping all the supplies going around the world. This airplane played a major role. I'm on a special humanitarian mission today. As you can see here, 80 tons of medical supplies loaded onto the main deck of National Boeing 747. We're gonna fly to Pakistan and over the Himalayas to Nepal. We'll be hell of a trip. The mechanic's gone to take a look at the APU.
2, 1.
This is a very new experience for me, sleeping on the floor.
Kathmandu is a very special airport, one of the most dangerous airports in the world. There is very high terrain.
All 29 pilots on the main deck is going to Kathmandu.
Welcome to Nepal.
During the COVID, a 747 had a second spring. All the freighters parked in the desert was calling back to life. So I was documenting the reactivation of a 747. This is unbelievable, guys. Let's check out this 747. It's got a second life, just been reactivated after years of storage.
I'm so overwhelmed, and I'm really excited to be a part of this celebration, and it makes me cry right now.
I work on those GNX2B engines for a long time, mostly mechanical design. Today is like really bittersweet in a sense. The last of the 2Bs getting delivered, but a long history of the engines running really well, and proud to send it off.
You work for Alice Air or Boeing?
I'm a Boeing pre-flight delivery. So I feel excited. I feel sad too. I spoke to pilots and they agree that they love the product. At the same time, sad because this is the last one. So the Queen is going away with honors.
After 55 years, so farewell to the Queen of the Skies, and thanks to Joe Sutter, to everyone else involved, including the Incredibles.
Here I'm with my friends from Mexico. How do we say 747 forever in Spanish?
747 para siempre.